Hey everybody, Nick here, and today I got a little announcement that's bringing me some joy and, it might help to do some good for the world. One of the very best things that I am able to do on this channel is some charitable work, right? And I do that in a variety of ways. I've got the charity raffles, so to speak. It's not really a raffle. I don't get paid anything off of it. But basically, where a bunch of people donate money directly to a local domestic violence shelter, usually, although I've done other causes. And as a result, when they send me the receipt, they get entered, and then I give away free stuff to among the people who've entered. It's a beautiful thing, and it's allowed us to raise a crazy amount of money. It's a wonderful thing. I love it. However, it doesn't work as well when you get a piece that might be a little bit higher end. For instance, this little Holt Spectre here is an absolutely beautiful thing. It was donated to me directly by the Holts. They just handed me this knife and said, Nick, do something charitable with it. That's a wonderful thing, but it's actually, it's put me at a little bit of a tough spot, because if I were to just do one of those kind of raffle things, that gets a little problematic, because let's say that I did, a certain amount for the raffle, there's no way to guarantee that you're going to be the winning person. You could donate, relatively little money or a bunch of money, and there's no way to guarantee that you will have a shot at it there. I want to be able to get as much money for charity as I can out of this knife as possible, and the very best way to do that, I think, is to do an auction. However, auctions are hard. Not in the sense of like the physical act. If I had everybody standing around a table, auctions are freaking easy. But on the internet, auctions are hard. Because if you do it on Instagram, well, Instagram hates us, so they're not going to show anybody the post. And then all the comments aren't sorted chronologically. It just sucks. If I do it on Twitter, it's even worse. And by the way, twitter.com/Nick Shabazz, nevertheless, it's even worse because then, everything's threaded and then that's a train wreck. And, I could try doing it, or I could do a website of my own. I could try and sign, but every way I looked to try and do some kind of a charitable auction would either want to take a cut, which is what would happen on eBay, right? If I were to do an auction on eBay and then at the end say, don't pay me, that's like super illegal. That gets me banned from eBay, and because they want their money. Or I would have to design it myself, and honestly, I don't have enough time for that. But until recently, actually, a situation arose. Not a situation, actually, but a new website. This is not, by the way, a paid anything. They've given me no consideration for any of this, except that they're helping me with this charitable work. But recently, a new website was actually started by some knife makers in the community. It's called EDCBid. It literally EDCBid. It's EDCBidcom. Basically, what they are trying to do is to be an eBay sort of alternative that is specifically designed for pocket knives as well as for other EDC sorts of items. And that's actually a really cool idea because, A, it helps to develop a much more compact market where people can be verified, where people know each other. And it also puts all the enthusiasts in one place. You're not just wondering, oh, okay, where do I look for this high-end piece? Well, it's one place to check. What they offered, though, I reached out to them and I said, when I heard about this being a thing, I reached out to them, I said, hey, guys, I'd like to do these charity things, but I need three things out of you. I need to be able to use your system with all of the bidding, all of the advertisement. I need to be able to use your system. I don't want any money to be going to you guys rather than to charity. Of course, they'll probably get something off the page views and, with publicity and whatnot. But I want all the money from this to go to charity. And then at the end, I want the payer to go directly to the charity rather than going to EDCBid, who makes a donation, because that's too easy to gain. And I talked to them and they said, yes, absolutely done. They were very, very, very happy to work with this, and as a result, I have just listed my very first knife up for charitable auction. And of course, for a first like this, it's really important to choose something truly excellent, something truly amazing, something truly historic, and really a watershed piece in knife-making history. Of course, I am talking about this Tack Force. Yeah, that's right. This Tack Force is the very first item I have listed. The current high bid is $52.50, which is roughly $52 higher than it should be. But nevertheless, this is actually the very first knife I ever featured on the channel in a Terrible Knives Live video. This knife was the genesis of that. I signed up for a Terrible Knife of the Month box, and this was the very first thing to come out of it. That's history right there. This is a piece of something, that's for damn sure. And I was able to list this guy with no problem. And at the end of the day, whoever wins the auction, just like for the next one, is going to make the donation directly, and I'm going to send them the knife, and everything's going to be beautiful. But this has just gone online. But more importantly, why am I doing this one? A, because it amuses me to take fancy style, shot by coupe style imagery of a terrible knife. But B, because I want to test the system, make sure everything's working well. This is the start of my charitable auctions in this way, but it is far from the end. Next up is going to be the Holt Spectre here. This was donated to me directly by Joe and Angie Holt at Blade Show 2019. They said to me, Nick, we want to give you this knife for charity. They said, do whatever you think can raise the most amount of money for charity with this knife. And you know what? That's spectacular. I mean, they're good people, but that was above and beyond. Giving me a, $700, $800 knife for... It's freaking spectacular. So this will be the next one to go up there. So, don't, spend all your money in one place, just saying. But then after that, I'm in talks with other knife makers to do similar things, where either they donate something directly or I pay them cost out of pocket because it's important for me to do good things for charity. And then I put the knife up in that way. And so I'm hoping that this thing with EDC Bid will give me access to not only a good auction interface, but also to a list of interested knife buyers, and give the publicity without any of the algorithm stuff. I'm hoping that'll work out really well, and that this will be a good way for me to continue doing some charitable good on the higher end. Now, don't get me wrong. I will be doing more charity raffles. In fact, I have a whole box of knives that are not quite on that, the higher echelon level. Not quite on the unique or higher custom stuff, that I will absolutely be doing again. Rest yourself assured. I'm waiting to build up sufficient stock of, things that have been sent to me for review, etc. That's definitely coming down the pipe. But for these higher end pieces, I think this is going to be a great system. And so if you're interested in owning a true piece of history, then by all means, head on over to EDC bid on this guy. Otherwise, keep an eye out, because there's going to be some excellent stuff. And each time I do it, I'll drop another video like this. But yeah, there we go. I hope this works out really well. I'm really optimistic, and I do want to thank the EDC Bid folks. Of course, they're getting some benefit out of the publicity here. But I want to thank them for being not only open to doing this whole charitable arrangement, where they are making absolutely no money on this whole thing, but not even open, but just like enthusiastic. They were like, hell yes, we want to make this happen. We want to do the good. And so that's a beautiful thing. So anyways, guys, if you're interested in something terrible, check out. If you're interested in something non-terrible, watch this space. Hope this has been interesting to you, and have yourselves just an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. Bye now.